people truly wake up and open their eyes to the full realization that they are the individualization of the source of their being, which is a of perfect perfect impulses of creativity and love. They will remain attached to the enticements of materialism, satisfaction of body lust, and the desire for self promotion above all others, which ranges from takeovers and strikes in business and industries and grows disharmonies in relationships to murder, rape, and war. Wherever a person exerts his ego over another, angry discords abound. This is the very first law of existence, which must be publicized throughout the world. Throughout the world. This is the very first This is the very first law of existence, which must be publicized throughout the world. And what is that? Wherever a person exerts his ego over another person, angry and discords will abound. So we see what's causing this discourse in our society. Too many egos. We want to control. If you want to control another person, we always going to have discord. When you see governments, they know this. That's why they create these government. They want to exalt even their ego. Yeah, it's the ego in our towns, from cities to states, over us. That's why there's always discord. This system is built against the laws of the universe, the laws of existence. If you're in a relationship and one is exhorting his ego over a person, that's what's caused marriage to I'm not going to just say broke up, cause discourse in marriages, cause discourse in churches, on our jobs, in our entire society. That's what's causing discourse, because someone is exhorting his ego, his self. Know what your ego is. It's that me. It's that selfish aspect of us. It's that flesh that Paul's talk about. That thing within us that we have to overcome. This we get this ego. We think, oh, we're the better because we're rich. I come from a good family. I'm the better race. I'm the better color. I'm a man, and man must have dominion over woman. I'm a woman, and I'm beautiful, and I must get this, and I must get that. Be careful. That's the flesh. That's the self that Paul talks about. That's his entire ministry. Flesh has to decrease. The ego, only thing it's caused in for you and society is discourse, and take you away from your divinity. If there has to be a balance. So this is the first law of existence, and this must go throughout the world. The understanding of this law must go throughout this world. And every area of society we see where the ego is dominant, and in our government, not just for us, but around the world, we see this is the cause of war and rape and so many things in our society. The ego It must not be dominant. We must see each other as the divine beings as we are, as the gods we are. We must see each other as that. Anytime we see other people as less than, that's the ego that's talking. That's the ego that's in control. Okay, let me read this paragraph. There's some stuff here. This is how we should see ourselves. We have to understand this, not just that this law, we have to understand this entire paragraph. This describes who we are. So when you hear deep ministries saying, raise your consciousness vibrational frequency, this is what deep ministry wants you to understand. Until people truly wake up, this is what I'm shouting every day in this ministry until it's time to move on to doing something else. I'm still going to say this. Wake up. Wake up and open your eyes to the full realization that they are the individualization of the source of your being. Who's the source of your being? You call him God, you call him Jehovah, Muhammad, Yahweh, El Shaddai, whatever. Those are the source of your being. You are that individual form of the source of your being. And if you're that individual form, you have your own authority as the God of your universe that you create here. You create here. You are the individual form of the God that you believe in. That's what you are. This message has to go towards the end of the earth. That's why you create. You create whether you're aware of it or not, you create. You create whether you want to understand it or not. So until people truly wake up and open their eyes to the full realization that you are the individualized form of your God. You are God made visible. You are the Word made visible that put on flesh and come into this earth. So they are the individualization of the source of their being, which is a combination, hear this, of perfect impulses, the two perfect impulses, electricity and magnetism, Father, Mother, God, masculine and feminine. That's the two perfect impulses which create us. That make us gods of creativity and love. Look how this ties up. When we see men, what we see, logic, creativity. When we see mothers, what we see, love, family, togetherness. That's the same way the creators of our universe. The creator, there's two but one, our mother or father. And we see them as electricity and magnetism. Those are the two creative pulses of that create us. So we take our form from them. We are not separated. Okay, they will remain attracted to the enticements. Okay, so until you come to this understanding, all you're gonna do. So if you find this message and you still remain attracted to the enticements of materialism, hmm, satisfactory of body lust, and the desire for self-promotion above all others, which ranges from takeovers and strikes in business and industries and gross disharmonies in relationships to murder, rape, and war. Wherever a person exerts his ego over another, and over another, angry discords abound. This is the very first law of existence, which must be published throughout the world. Please, if you out there, this is live. If you ever come against this message, please know that this is very important for us to know who we are. It is very important to know who we are. And if you're out there in this materialistic world, but satisfaction of body love, self promotion, you're trying to take over, you're trying to run other lives, you want to exalt yourself above others. This, no, that's not natural. That's not natural. You're in your ego, okay? You're in your ego. How then should human nature strive daily to live in the world naturally, dominated by ego drive, the overpowering desire of self satisfaction? How should we live? Here, Christ's going to show us. How should we live? Let me outline. In this world that is dominated by our ego. Because if you hear this, you're going to be like, deep, deep ministry. What you're talking about is what happens in this world. So here, Christ is going to give you a guide on how we should live. How we should live. The answer lies in the statement, you know, do do to others as you would be, do to others as you would be done by. Do unto others as you would have them do to you. This is what the hell. This is the first step to overcoming your ego drive. So anything you do to someone, make sure you would have them do it to you. This came to me the other night. We're looking at our family, and we see where the death and people just have sickness, and we know the lives they live. We reap what we sow. Remember, we reap what we sow. Don't think you do things and it will not come back. It will not come back to you, especially when you do things innocently. As I mentioned previously, um, the things that happen in this world, this creation is so perfect. There is no needs for jail and um all this punishment in this world. There's no need for it because we already get our punishment. I know the punishment in this world is more quick, but we're getting punished in this world, and we're getting punished by the laws of the universe. So there's no need for these jail and prison, as because you know what the jails and the prisons doesn't do. They do not reform us spiritually. They reform the body, but they don't reform the mind. When we allow the punishment exude by the spiritual realm, by our creator, by the laws of the universe, we punish mind, body, and spirit. Mind, body, and spirit. So when you come out of it, you're not going to want to go back. You're not going to want to go back. So this world of a setup in place that we can't do anything to others. It shows in your life. I see it all the time on these platforms, people talking about how cruel people are. You just have to leave them because they're going to get what they deserve. And you might look with your physical eyes and be like, no, they won't. They live long. They just, no, they will. They will. They will reap what they sow. So this is the first step to overcoming ego drive. Don't treat people as you would want to be treated. Treat people as you would want to be treated. When involved in argument, let there be full justice rendered by each party. by each party to the other. Listen, absorb, heed, make amends as far as possible. Okay? This is when we're in an argument. We're all familiar with that, you know. When we're in an argument and our ego is high, there's no listening going on, you know. There's no heeding going on. We're looking to roll punches. Yeah, those things not going on when we're in an argument. Those things not gonna happen when we're all involved in an argument. But the right thing to do is not let our ego get the best of us. When you get to that place and you're not even arguing anymore, you just listen. And it's easy to say, okay, maybe I read that wrong. It's easy to say, I'm sorry and move on. You know, that's the goal. So one more thing, to overcome our ego, because remember the ego is what's sowing discords in our society. So when involved in argument, let there be full justice rendered by each party to the other. Listen, absorb, heed, make amends as far as possible. Make certain that in your demands you do not make inroads on the well being of the other party, be it personal, pleasure, business, or industry. Okay, let's try this one more time. Make certain that in your demands you do not make inroads on the well-being of other party, be it personal, pleasure, business, or industry. Remember, everyone has to live. Be kind. Remember that as you do to others, so will it eventually be done to you. Remember this. You're not getting over, not because the government doesn't see you, not because you weren't get go you didn't go to jail, not because you were found not guilty. Those are the things that we should look on, not because so and so was found not guilty. They got over on the physical law, but the divine law will get them. It will get them. It will. These are set in place. These are hard laws that's set in place. People call it karma. It will get them. So don't be like, oh, he got out scot-free. Everything that's been done on this earth, everyone, unless they're misleading us. And sometimes I think that's what happened. That's why we're not seeing people get what they deserve, because maybe somehow they tell us they can't just go around and kill people without a cause. Karma would have been got this world. Oh, they do this, the government do, they can't. They know the laws of the universe. They're just giving us a perception. This society is how you perceive it. They're just giving us a perception that they did and they didn't. Because let me tell you, there's a lot laws are in place for them too, not just us. This is the beauty of this laws. The government, the highest of the highest, it doesn't matter. The animals, the trees, you're not greater than these laws. You're not greater than these laws. Remember that your thoughts, words, and actions of today will take on form in your experience in days, months, or years to come. Sometimes the sowing will take years to grow into its harvest, and the sowing will have been forgotten. However, rest assured, whatever you do today will return to you in some related form, although you may never recognize it as such or perceive the connection. We reap what we sow. I was just thinking this just a couple days ago. And we have a thing in our society. Oh, it's the devil. Oh, it's voodoo. Oh, it's obi. No, it's you. It's your thoughts. It's what you were thinking. It's you allow the ego to take full control of your mind, and you think whatever comes to you, even though you don't remember it, it's you. It's you. Your thoughts and your ego and your emotions come together and create these situations for yourself. So be mindful of your thinking. Hmm. Whatever you would have people say about your mistakes, say those things and mean them about the mistakes that other people may make, friends or strangers. All right? Whatever you would have people say about your mistakes, whatever, say those things and mean them, and the mistakes that other people may make, friends or strangers. As I read this, I'm getting be authentic about everything. Be authentic about everything. Fight for it. Fight to be authentic. Fight. I love people who can just say what they mean. I love it because I'm the one that always. Oh, I'm not gonna say that. I don't wanna hurt anyone's feelings, even deep in my heart. Um, this is not what I'm thinking. Be genuine. Be authentic. If you someone's do something, but just say it. Just say it. Just say what you mean. Just saying, you know. So you hear what it says. Whatever you would have people say about your mistakes, say those things and mean them. About the mistakes that other people may make, friends or stranger. Give the acceptance and forgiveness you would like to receive. What is true forgiveness? It is a state of understanding the other person and their reasons for their behavior so clearly that you can say, in all honesty, there is nothing to forgive. Mm? Can we do this? Can we do this? We talk about forgiveness a lot. It is so important to forgive. It is so important to forgive. And it seems like what the Christ letter is saying, forgive based on what you would have done to you. The forgiveness you would like to receive, make sure you're giving it to others. Do unto others as you would like them do to you. These are we have Moses' law. These should be laws that we write on the table of our hearts. What you reap, you sow. These are the things that keeps us um, in our lack. These are the things that keeps us in our sickness. These are the things that keeps us um, from not uh, having a closer relationship, having knowledge of the divine aspect of ourselves, the connection to the spiritual realm. These are the things that hinder us. Being egotistical, treating others as less than, you know, I want this, but I want less for you, you know. As we go through our daily activities, these are the things we should take notice of. Be careful of your thoughts. They are not secret. Your thoughts are not secret. Your thoughts are come and manifest in your lives. And whatever you have in your mind and your thought, it will manifest if you don't balance them. When I say balance, you have to think a good thought. If you think a bad thought, oh, I wish Mr. Whenever something bad to happen to Mr. Whoever, and that's coming for you. Be careful of your thoughts. Think about other people as you would like for yourself. Yeah, no, sometimes people hurt you so bad, and you wish, you want that, you want that quick judgment upon them. You have a terrible relationship, you have a terrible boss, you have a terrible um, sister, sibling, whatever. Be careful of your thoughts. Your thought doesn't know that you're thinking about your sister or your boss or the government. It's thinking about yourself. It all those things you're wishing for somebody else is coming for you. And when you get them, you say it's the devil and it's voodoo and it's this and it's that. It's your thoughts, because whatever we reap, we sow. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you, not just physically in your mind. Think about people as you would want them to think about you. Please. That's the aspect of it they forget to tell us. Everything happens in the mind. That's where it starts. So don't think, oh, I'm not gonna say it, so it's not gonna come. Once you think it in your mind, and you don't balance that thought, it's coming for you. Thoughts are conscious, or thoughts are our consciousness. That's why they program our minds, because we can manifest good and bad for the controllers. Be mindful of what you think in your mind, not just what you say with your words or your actions. It starts in the mind. Okay, so be mindful. Think. When I came into the knowledge of this, even sometimes if a bad thought come, even about myself, I'll be like, I quick think a good thought. Oh, accident. Oh no, I'm gonna be safe. I'm gonna be go home safe. I'm gonna be okay. Because if you notice our thoughts, a lot of fears, and that's based on our programming. That's when we come into this world. And I heard someone says it's even based on your past lives. Your thoughts are based on what happens to you in your past lives. So you right now you're here to wake up and get the knowledge of self. All right. So give the acceptance and forgiveness you would like to receive. What is true forgiveness? It is a state of understanding the other person and their reasons for their behavior so clearly that you can say, in all honesty, there is nothing to forgive. How many of us can, if someone do us something, we can really ask them, why did you do that? And can we empathize with what they did? Not sympathize, empathize, put ourselves in their shoes with what they did so we can forgive them. Mm? This is where we have to start. This is where we have to start. The loyalty, kindness, and generosity you would like to receive when in trouble, give to others when they are struggling with heavy burdens. Never turn to them, never turn to them a cold shoulder. Remember that. Treat each others as we would like to be treated. Learn to look at a person or a situation with the eye of kindly discernment. See them as they are at this moment, and then remember that I see them with compassionate love. Mm. Can we do this? Learn to look at a person or a situation with the eye of kindly discernment. See them as they are at this moment, and then remember that I see them with compassionate love. Yep. Remember, everyone, if you see a real need of If you see a real need of improvement in them for their own good and the future enhancement of their well-being, look at them only with heart and eyes of love, and see them as they can be in the future. Take them in thought to their source of being, and know that your prayer has surely blessed them and opened the doors to their development. Seek guidance from divine consciousness as to whether you can broach the subject of their improvement, and ask how this may be done to ensure their happy acceptance of counsel and ultimate success in their personal development. Mhm. This is how we should care about other people. Mm, this is nice. So if you see a need for improvement in other people's life that will help their future well-being, see it. Look at them only with heart and eyes of love, and see them as they can be in the future. Take them in thought to their source of being, their source of being, their higher selves, and know that your prayer as take them in thought, surely bless them and open doors for their development. This is how we should see each other's, instead of criticizing others. See them. Know this. Seek guidance from divine consciousness as to whether you can broach the subject of their improvement, and ask how this may be done to ensure their happy acceptance of counsel and ultimate success in personal development. Yeah, this is why we're here. These are the things we're not doing. That's why our society is like this. Society has taught us it's me, 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 me. If someone wants to tell you how you have hurt them at any time, stand or sit still quietly and know that this is a true challenge to your ego drive. This is your big moment, your greatest testing point. How will you handle it? Will you make excuses and defend yourself, considering even saying that your action should not have hurt the other person and were fully justified in the circumstances? If this is how you respond, then your ego drive is still in perfect control of your consciousness. This is true. This is true. And, many of us go through society and things we don't, especially children. As parents, we think we did the best, but the kids receiving it, they see something, they see other things, and many of us probably our children gonna sit us down, mom, dad, I didn't like this, I didn't like that, I didn't like this, I didn't like that. We have to, even though in our deepest hearts we'll be like, darn, I thought I did the best that I can. All we got to do is ask forgiveness and just said, you know what? I didn't meant for that to happen. I didn't meant for that to happen, and I'm sorry. So this is when your ego is in control. This is when your ego this is when your ego is in control, you'll be like, oh, I did the best I can. I don't care what you think. I mean, we have to use empathized. Sometimes we're busy as moms, and we can miss things. We're not perfect beings. No manual come with being a parent. So, or not just our children, anyone that thinks we think we need to sit and listen and apologize, you know? And that shows you that you're in control of your ego. If we can do that, that shows us, be like, you know what, ego, I'm not you're going under subjection, and you're gonna stay there. If, however, you can realize that the great moment of truth is upon you, and because of this awareness, you are able to remain quiet and calm, Listen to the other person's description of the hurt at your hands. You are succeeding in first overcoming of your ego. Yeah, yeah. That's the first step in overcoming our ego. The next urgent step is to put your own need to defend yourself firmly aside and sincerely empathize with what the speaker is saying. Exactly. And I know I used to do this a lot, especially with my husband. I'll be like, oh, I have to defend myself. There's no one to defend me. I have to defend myself. You're not defending yourself. That's your ego defending you. That's what it was created to do. That's why we can't totally get rid of our ego. We just have to put it under subjection. We just have to let it know, you know what, ego, I'm in control. You don't have to defend me. You don't have to defend me. All right. Okay. I try not to talk behind paragraphs, but the next urgent step is to put your own need to defend yourself firmly aside and sincerely empathize with what the speaker is saying. You will only be able to do this sincerely if you can be self self-effacing enough to enter a place of inner silence where you can fully enter into their hurt, hear what they are saying, and receive their pain into your heart. If you can do this, you will have got inside their skin. And when you can get inside their skin and feel their pain, you will want to apologize from the very bottom of your heart for what you did. The pain you inflicted ignorantly and unknowingly will become your own pain, and you will not rest until you have managed through loving words to remove all residue of pain from the other person's consciousness. You will then have healed the hurt, and it will also be eliminated from your electromagnetic um, consciousness system. You have won a great victory over self. You will have reached a point of inner strength and endurance, and you can truly perceive the reality of other people as being of equal validity with your own. You have recognized and accepted that others can be hurt by your action in just the same way as you have been hurt by others. Yes, yes. And this helps us when we can do that. It helps us increase our consciousness. It helps us increase our energy, become more knowledgeable of the divine beings that we are. After reaching this great moment of truth in your life, you will find yourself able to move between yourself and others quite comfortably, able to see events from their perspective as easily as you can see your own. A great balancing between the needs of other people and yourself takes place, and you enter into a state of peace since you are now confident that you treat others fairly and with generosity of spirit. You have now begun to remove the barriers between yourself and other people and receiving them into your heart. Yes. Yeah. The goal of this our school here on earth, this is one of the goals also, is to live together, is to see others as the human being that they are. That what we've been, all the stuff that separate us, there shouldn't be anything separating us. There should, no one is better, no one is less than. We're all God's children. We're all God's children. Okay. You have also begun to remove your own defenses. And because of this, you will find that at last you're achieving true esteem and peace of mind. This new understanding of the feeling of others will inspire in you a great respect for them. You will always want to deal with them justly, giving them their dues, never wanting to take advantage of their good nature, never wanting to put down, reduce their self esteem, always ready to encourage and pick them up when they're in pain, physical or emotional. You will find yourself doing these things for yourself also. You will become your own counselor, your support, your healer. Your healer. Oh my gosh. There are many thoughts that go through our minds on a daily basis. Many, many, many thoughts. And when you begin to raise your consciousness, you are mindful of the way you treat others. You are mindful um, even your thoughts that you're thinking, and many of us has to go through forgive those who we think hurt us in this world, and they keep popping up in your life because the universe is sending them because we haven't healed from that trauma. And we have to, these are our wilderness moment that we have to go through. We can't get around it. We have to go through these moments. And I see them since I start on this journey. And things that happen, the way I treat things now, and I'm still learning. Even 2 years ago, I'm learning to be more empathetic. I'm learning the responsibility that I have because it's not just helping others, it's helping you. It's helping you. We were so hard on ourselves. Oh, I made this mistake. Oh, I did this. I did that. So we didn't know any better. Will we make a, if we had to do it without knowing that it was a bad mistake, we probably would have made the same mistake. We said it's a mistake, but what book could tell us it's a mistake because it didn't work out the way we wanted it to, whether a relationship or a job. It didn't work out the way we wanted to, but guess what? We learned from it. That's what we can take from it. Learn, experience. And we're here to have experience. We're here to make mistakes. We're here to fall. We're here to get up. We're here to forgive. We're here to give a helping hand. That's why we're here. That's the earthly experience. That's the earthly experience. And the goal is to get over the ego, the me, it's my way, having dominance over others, seeing others as less than. That's the main goal. That's what we have to work on. That's what the Bible, Paul's ministry, call it the flesh. We have to work on overcoming the flesh and walk in our divinity. And when we overcome this ego where we don't see ourselves as better than, as me and no one else, that's when we start walking in our spirituality in who we truly are. In who we truly are. Okay. What time is it? Okay. You have also begun to remove your own defenses, and because of this, you will find that at last you're achieving true self-esteem and peace of mind. And peace of mind. This new understanding of the feelings of others will inspire in you a great respect for them. You will always want to deal with them justly, giving them their dues, never wanting to take advantage of their good nature, never wanting to put them down, reduce their self-esteem, always ready to encourage and pick them up when they're in pain, physical or emotional. You will find yourself doing these things for yourself also. You will become your own counselor and support and healer. Yeah. Let's start this journey, everyone. Let's start this journey. You will see each person, no matter what their status, as of an equal basic reality as your own, and you will see that you are the equal of everyone else, be it king, pope, or president. For underneath the externals, you have both come out of the great unity of being. This is what I was thinking this morning. I just watching the news, and all I see all the services that was taking place for Resurrection Sunday, and not want to knock anyone's religion, but we don't have to go to anyone and confess. They're just like us. 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 They're men who get dressed like us on this journey like us. They're not better. No one is better. No one is better. We don't have to listen to any government or any pope or whatever. Some of us tap into our divinity, so we know more than maybe they do know more because they really know who we are. But yeah, mm, we were formed by the same creator. It's oneness. It's oneness. Oneness, or same source. Oneness. Now, no king, pope, or president. Underneath the externals, you have both come out of the great unity of beings. And what's the great unity of beings? It tells us earlier creativity and love. We call it electricity and magnetism. We call it masculine and feminine. You know, those are what we call it. Therefore, you will no longer feel inadequate in any situation because you have moved forward in the strength and wisdom drawn from divine consciousness, and recognize that you too have equal rights with everyone else. You too have equal rights with everyone else. And this paragraph right here, I am so thankful for this because, mm, and I'm praying that the children of the world, no matter where you are, will know this. This is what I hope for because I felt inadequate growing up. I felt less than growing up. I think others were better than I am, smarter than I am. And I want the world, the children coming up as parents, there is nothing. Whoever create the phrase that there's nothing that you can't do, that no one is better. I look at the kids sometimes in the in the continent, the African continent, barely. Oh my gosh! If this word could go there, if someone, maybe it's me in the future, to let them know within them there's a power great, great, greater than shoes, greater than money. Oh my gosh. We were given the Bible and we weren't taught how powerful we are. That no one is better. I know they're over there sometimes, and when people come and give, they probably think, oh, they're better than me. Oh, it's gonna tell our children that no one is better. What we're seeing is just a cloak, the outward. Beneath this, we're all the same. Anything one can do, everybody can do it. So hunger will be no more. We create a world of inventors and a world of pioneers. All these areas that's been deemed third world, and these first world, or whatever you want to call them, has to send food to them. This is a deception. This is a deception. They give education and religion to deceive us, to let us think there's other people, other worlds are better, and we must just live in our poverty and wait for Jesus to come from the sky and help us. And we should go to church every day, and we're sinful. Not oh beautifully and wonderful. Oh, we're born in sin and shaped in iniquity. This is what I want everything one to know. The same God that makes you is the same God that makes me. I am not better. They talk about education. Education, education. You just need the knowledge that you are God. You are connected to the source of your being, and ask for direction and knowledge. I grew up in a country where people didn't go to school and can read and smart as anyone else. Education doesn't make you better. It's your connection to your divinity. It's your awareness of your divinity. That's what's going to save the world. It's not how many cars, the size of your home, where you live. It's for our babies to know that they are God's and believe it. Not for them to know that they're sinners saved by grace. What? Mm, mm, mm. You are not inadequate. There is nothing I have different from. I'm not even going to talk about the physical stuff because it doesn't matter. The house, the land, the car, the this, the that, stupidity. They just use that as a control for us to see others with excess as better than. And people use that knowledge of excess um to to control their egotistical, and that's what caused war and divide in this realm. So I pray that if you ever come against this, please tell your children how much they are God's. It's not the college degree, it's the awareness of their divinity. This is the word that Christ has to go around the world. This is what Jesus, as we celebrate Resurrection Sunday, this is what Jesus was crucified for. Because he came to tell the people, listen, you don't need the priests, you don't need that, you're God's. The same power that rose Christ from the dead lives within you. What we did with that information. Hmm? What we did with that information. Oh, we're sinners saved by grace. Hmm? and we must give our power, we must go vote, we must depend on men just like us, that's created just like us, that have um access to the divine realms just like us, and they probably don't even use it. We must depend on them for food, for our health, for our strength, for our well-being. No, when the divine aspect of us, or God's self, is always stretched out, wanted. Wake up, John. Wake up, Mary. Wake up, Jean. Wake up, Matthew. Wake up, Mary. Wake up. I'm right here. Depend on me for your needs. Depend on me for your direction. Hmm? I know this hurt. I feel this because this was me. I always think everyone is better than me. I'm not deserving. because this is what the society has taught us. Oh, Elon Musk knows. Jeff Bezos knows. Um, what's the other billionaire? I see them. They're even coming into, oh, they know about, so they must know about government. And I was criticizing them for that, but they're right. We know about everything. We know about everything if we want to. You can do anything. I can do all things through Christ. That Christ consciousness, the your divine self, your higher self. Huh? I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. What does that mean for you? Hmm? Is it just words? It's just a Bible verse? But I pray that our children will know who they really are, the divine beings that they are. I don't know. I don't. This platform is right here. I just I just pray that if one, two, or three, we can spread the word and start from home. Start telling your children how beautiful they are, beautifully and wonderfully made. That's all they need. Oh, there is not a straight. No, if you tell him about the God within him, and he wants to pass that test, he's gonna be like, "Well, God, my higher self, the God aspect of me, lead me and guide me in this test. Lead me and guide me this. Lead me and guide me." That's what we should teach our children. And they give them these meaningless prayers. These meaningless prayers. Yes, it helped them to know that there's a God. We need to start telling our kids, prove me wrong. You are God. This is just a shell of who you are. The true aspect of you is behind this flesh. And it have knowing of everything in this world. That's the power that live within you. The source. And anything you want, anything, just ask. Anything you want, ask the God in your being, of your being. Oh my gosh, people don't understand the power within us, how it leads us, how it guides us, how it comforts us, how it heals us. Mm. Ah. Mm. All right, let me continue. But this is my goal. I want every child to know the divine being that they are. Okay, so therefore you will no longer feel inadequate in any situation. Anywhere you go, the White House, the Red House, the Black House, the Green House, walk up in there with confidence. No one is better than you. That's what we should tell ourselves and our children. Walk up in there just so you know they are not better. Walk up in the churches, walk on your job. The boss is not better. They are not better. Don't ever see yourself as less than. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. I just pray and know. I don't care your size. I don't care what you look in the mirror. See the God you are. Love yourself. You are uniquely made. You are from the same power impulses that create the sun, the moon, and the stars. The same power. No one in this world is better than you. Love yourself. Love yourself. These fake, this what they show us with celebrities is just a perception that they have the best life because they have money. I heard Will Smith say, no, because you have money, you don't have the best life. You don't know it all. This celebrity culture they grow us upon, politics culture. We kill each other for politics, for these men, for these men. There's a scripture in the Bible said they're merely men. They're merely men. What they do to us in this world, they have us paying for everything that comes naturally, and we just sit down and take it because we think these people know better. We give them our power. Your ancestors or what, they're cheering for us. They want us to wake up to the truth. They want us to come into the knowledge of who we are. No more being led as sheep to the slaughter. No more. All you see in this world is to take us out of this knowledge, is to take us out of our divinity. Is it for us to believe on something outside of us? They don't want to tell us that we're gods. Christ was crucified for it. The church and the state came together and crucified him because they didn't want, and then they sell us a story. And even now, this is the Christ return. They couldn't stop us from knowing this truth. This is the Christ return. You're not coming in skies, coming within to let us know of the power within. That's why I keep telling us the kingdom of God within. And even though he was crucified, his brother, not for us to worship him, we all have the same power within. Even though he was crucified, for us to know that we are God's. And years after years, it was hidden from us. And this Christ letter that I'm reading, and other ascended beings, Mohammed, Buddha, Krishna, Saint Germain, and many, Mary Magdalene, even they do their best, they couldn't stop it. That's the power of the truth. That's the power of the truth. You can't stop the truth. That's the power of the truth. The truth is going to go to the ends of this earth. The truth. No longer will we watch on television. Our babies can't even find food. Don't even have shelter. Can't even provide food because they'll know who the God we are, who the God they are. No longer will we have um men under the bridge in our cities and towns that can't find shelter. People wake up to your divinity. Ask the God of your being to provide, to lead. Don't depend on this materialistic world. It's fleeting. If you keep depending on it, it's going, it's going. You're gonna left outside. Nothing else matters unless you understand. You believe with your own heart that the divine, the God you're worshiping, you're going to church to pray, is in this temple, not built with hands. Hmm. Not built with hands. Mm, mm. This is just a little more than I expected today. I'm just going to read. Therefore, you will no longer feel inadequate in any situation because you have moved forward in strength and wisdom, drawn from the divine consciousness, and recognize that you too have equal rights with everyone else. With everyone else. No one is created less. Mm. Quietly, calmly, you will not allow others to take advantage of you. You will be able to speak your mind clearly and honestly with due regard for the feelings of the other person. You will no longer want to denigrate another and reduce their self esteem. Rather, will you make every effort to save their self respect, yet relating your truth in a clear but loving way? Remember, when stating your truth to another, it is not within your province to tell them how they should act in any given circumstances or how they should react to your words. However, standing by universal values of perfect honesty, conscious conscientious work, goodwill towards all, care for the underprivileged, a person is entitled to demand that these values should take precedence over every other consideration of expediency within a group or community enterprise or national endeavor. I think I'm gonna stop here tonight. I'm gonna stop here tonight. I like this. Standing right here. I'm gonna stop here tonight. Stop. Okay, remember, this is just reminding us, and many of us been through this, been through this, you know. Don't allow, they said blessed are the meek and Christians, this and that. But remember this paragraph, he said, quietly, calmly, you will not allow others to take advantage of you. You will be able to speak your mind clearly and honestly with due regard for the feelings of the other person. You will no longer want to denigrate another and reduce their self esteem. Remember that. Rather, will you make every effort to save their self respect, yet relating your truth in a clear but loving way. Remember, when stating your truth to another, it is not within your province to tell them how they should act in any given circumstances or how they should react to your words. Remember that everyone is an individual being. Everyone is the God of their universe. We don't have the right to tell anyone how to think. As we started out, that's egotistical. That's egotistical. Even if someone near my ministry and they be like, you know what? I don't agree. That's up to them. I can only give them and just to open their mind that as their divine self can continue to work on them. Everyone has a God aspect of them working within them. Trust that power. Trust that power within the other person. If you're speaking the truth, if the Bible said, "Let your word be seasoned," even though is that person's ego won't allow them to accept it, you gotta trust that divine aspect of themselves will. So that's why you don't need have to be shout and be disrespectful. Just speak your truth in a loving way. However, standing by universal values of perfect honesty, authenticity, honesty, conscious of perfect honesty, conscientious work, goodwill towards all, caring for the underprivileged. These are universal values. A person is entitled to demand that these values should take precedence over everyone consideration of. A person is entitled to demand that these values, the universal values, should take precedence over every other consideration of expediency with a group or community enterprise of national endeavors. Yeah, of national endeavors. Yeah, so that's where we're going to leave tonight. Tonight's topic is really about our ego and how we should treat each other. Remember, we are under universal laws. And don't worry when someone don't treat you right and you think that they don't get what they deserve. It's not for us to say that. There's a universal law that what we reap, we sow. So leave everything. I know if someone does you something and then the court system didn't work, there's a higher system. There's a higher system. And I like we have equal rights like everyone else. Remember, everyone else, we have equal rights. You two have equal rights with everyone else. No one is better. The Pope, the president, the king, no one is better than you. Economically, right here, you might think, oh, this and that, they're better. But no, because we don't understand who we are. They understand. That's what they have over us, the knowledge of self. But and they try to hinder us from not understanding that. That listen, if these people wake up one day and understand what they have living in inside of them, it's a wrap. That's they probably have sleepless nights. Just so um thinking that one day we're gonna wake up and know the power that's within this behind this physicality. Everything is a wrap. Everything is a wrap. But I pray always that the children and as parents, please let us tell our children who they are. Let us tell our children we weren't born to come down here and struggle and depend on others. We uniquely came with a power. Um, that great effort has been placed for in us forgetting and not knowing, and with indoctrination. Um, but it's the rise. It's the Christ return. It's the Christ return, and knowledge is going to increase, and it will go to the four corners of the earth. All right, everyone. Father, Mother God, I thank you for this word, this tonight, where we celebrate we Resurrection Sunday. We'll know about you what this means or why it was created, but something about it. I know it's the real New Year, so we celebrate the depth of who we are, and I thank you today for those who listened and will be listened at another time. I thank you for homes and communities and countries and wherever this word is going to go to, and wherever the impoverished area people tonight who doesn't know the power that's within them. Oh my gosh. And we, as you, the word says, for a lack of knowledge, my people perish. And so we just put everyone in your hands tonight. Remember my sister, I didn't hear her tonight. I pray always for her strength and her healing. And we pray always for our sisters and brothers around the world. And we say thanks. Thank you. Okay, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.